Alright, so there's like a 90% chance I'm streaming today. Like 90%. That seems about right. Alright, I'll get started. Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Kazakhstan. We don't get Kazakhstan very often. Hi. How are you? Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Sweden, Georgia, Kansas, India, Toronto. Walla Walla. Oh, that's another one we don't get much. How is everybody doing today? Kuwait. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Hello, Samantha, John, Ghost, Shruti, Jacob, Nelson, and Uzbekistan. That's pretty cool. From the UK, Georgia, Africa. Do I play WoW? I have played WoW before. Clement, Florida, Oregon, Mexico, the Philippines, Massachusetts. You're from Boston. Jim, you from Boston? I don't know if I'm doing that accent any justice. Hello, Callisto. Manwar says, hey, Rory, joining you after a long time. Well wishes from India. Thank you, man. Hope you're doing well. Romania. Ami. Hong Kong, Ecuador, Minnesota. Hi, Dale. How's it going? What time do you think you'll be streaming? I'll be done with my run, workout, shower around 7. I mean, I'm streaming at this moment. I'll probably be going for about an hour. And you guys are going to get a video tomorrow. The real Squire has the same voice as you. Really? There can be only one. I will find the real Squire. I will have him on, and we will have a voice-off. I don't really know what that entails. But I assume speaking, to some degree. Perhaps we will show off our verbosity and eloquence. Oh, streaming on Twitch? No, I'm streaming here. No, I'm streaming. Twitch may come back one day. It's been, a lot of people have been asking about Twitch. So, I may be bringing Twitch back. We'll see. We'll see. Because I also have to contend with my loud dogs, who love to bark the second I hit live. Hello from Romania. Andrew, I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Ridetex says yes, I agree. A face-off? Nah. Nah, that's not interesting. You want a voice-off. Alright, let's get to some questions. So, T-Bree55 says, hi Rory, my ex basically left me for someone else. When I worked this out, I went no contact, and now she has got a job in my local pub. Should I think anything of this? No. Because, frankly, no amount of guessing will bring you or I an answer, so it's better to err on the side of no. That way we don't begin to look for things that potentially are not there. Bikepacker says, I've been on no contact for 3 months post-breakup, 3.5-year relationship. I now realize she's not coming back, partly accepting it. Why am I still dreaming of her every single night like we were okay? Well, you know, I'm going to say a couple things. First and foremost, what's 3 months in the face of 3.5 years together? I think you got to give her a little more time, but, well, I mean, you don't have to give her any time at all. It's just saying, be careful not to doom yourself. Why are you still dreaming of her? Because you love her. I wouldn't put too much emphasis into things like that. That strikes me as normal. You guys dated for 3.5 years. You're only 3 months out of a breakup. It's normal. Leave yourself alone. Listen to all those limiting thoughts and limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. I can already tell you beat yourself up, and that's just not going to be helpful. So don't do it, damn it. Leave yourself alone. Go bike packing, whatever that means. Umaibo, what's going on? Chill Cactus says, seeing an ex at work is tough, Rory. What should I do? Indifference, right? You're not being mean. You're just not impressed that your ex is in the room. Just, hey, how's it going? And just keep doing your thing. Indifference. You're not mean. You're not being rude or cold. You're just not being... You're not going out of your way to be friendly, if that makes sense. So the objective should not be mean. That's the wrong objective. It should be not impressed. Yeah, not impressed. Darren Wong says, hey Rory, my ex of 3 months is in the same circle of friends, been no contact for 2 months, but I've seen her a few times at gatherings. How should I be acting? Same answer. Yeah, same answer. Indifferent. What is that they say? Indifference makes the difference. Let's see. Rytex says, my ex is starting to get closer to my social group, actually talking with my old friends. Now on her birthday, she came to the new bar I go to. Cool. Like we said, guys, indifference. Indifference. It helps far more than you know. Manowar says, hey, Rory, your videos helped me recover, and now I think that it turned out well that we broke up. Thank you. You're welcome. Shruti says, hey, my ex is using pictures of him, which I clicked from my phone, and he knows it's my favorite, but out of the blue, he started using it on Insta and WhatsApp. So this is mind reading, and I want you to really be careful. Right? Really, really be careful. Because that's mind reading. You're taking something he did and making it mean something to you that we cannot prove. Right? You're looking for a hidden explanation of why he's doing what he's doing, and there might not be one. Please explain, can you explain more about indifference? Yes, indifference is sort of the lack of preference either way, right? It's not good, it's not bad. It's purgatory, emotional purgatory. I see that you're there. Cool. You may as well be someone who I've never met. So I don't dislike people I've never met, nor do I like people I've never met. I don't feel any sort of way about them. They're there. It is what it is. That's indifference. Connor says, hi, Rory, love the work that you do. Keep up the great work. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Let's see. Victorious says, hi, Rory. I post stories of me recording myself playing songs on social media, but I'm afraid that she will mistake some of those slow love songs as me trying to express heartbreak and ruin no contact. I thought I've answered this for you before. Maybe I haven't. Then don't record slow love songs. Or, which is, and this second answer is the one I prefer more, don't give a fuck what she thinks. Perhaps you've got yourself here because you gave too much of a fuck what she thinks. Pardon my language for any younger folk watching. I'm sorry. Sometimes the word just slips out. Sometimes that's the only word to use. Alrighty. Vision says, me and my ex have been dating for 6 months. Once we came back to school after COVID, she broke up out of the blue. I've been on no contact for 4 weeks now, and we avoid each other like we don't exist. Should I continue? Yes. No contact and work on yourself. The work on yourself part is the bigger part, right? No contact's cool. The bigger part is work on yourself. Sir Feffo, hello from Italy. Hello. What's shaking? Connor says, my question is, my ex and I see each other at football. She wears my old clothes, reached out to me yesterday on my birthday. Happy birthday. But whenever it gets to the point of maybe meeting up, she goes distant. Then stop asking. And remind her that you don't want her reaching out unless it's to meet up and you know, begin slowly fixing what had happened. Because right now she's got you in this in-between, and you don't want to be in the in-between. You want to tell her, look, I either want to have a healthy relationship with you, or I want you to piss off so I can heal. What kind of coffee you got today? I am drinking Peet's. P-E-E-T-S. Peet's. And it's Keurig. It's just K-Cup. Oh, Rory need a hard for molding? No idea what that means, Andy. But I'm going to assume, does it mean, do I need help? And the answer is sure. Welcome. Everybody, round of applause for Andy. He's been a wonderful mod for Andy, it's been over like a year now. I think. Almost a year. So, Mod Appreciation Day. Thank you to all the Discord mods and all the Patreon mods and all the YouTube mods. I really appreciate you guys a lot. Represent. Major Dickinson's blend is one of my favorites. I think it's that one. I'm not sure. I just, like, for me, guys, I like really dark coffee. Like, bitter, black. Like, I rarely add things to my coffee. Sometimes I will, but, like, typically I'll drink, like, 3-4 cups of black coffee a day throughout the whole day. Like, and it doesn't keep me up. I can have coffee at, like, 10 p.m. and like, sleep like a baby. Alrighty. Darren says, goddamn, I feel lucky to be answered. Love your work. Thank you for everything you do. Really appreciate it. You're welcome, man. Hey, just keep focusing on yourself, guys. It's funny, because when I answer these questions, a lot of the times people are looking for one of two things, right? They're looking to have a question answered that we cannot know, no matter how good at my job I am, either way, or not even just me. Think of your counselor. Think of Craig Kenneth. Think of the dating guy. No matter how good we are at our jobs, we cannot know the future. We can't. We cannot read someone else's mind. We can only give you the most likely reason. Do I have Patreon? Yep. just go to any one of my videos, even this video. If you look in the description, it should include my Patreon link. It's just patreon.com/thelovechat. And for those of you who don't, know what Patreon is, it's basically a service where you become a patron of mine, meaning you support my work with like $5 a month, and in return you get like 100 new unseen episodes of the Love Chat. So it's something like that. So thank you for the existing patrons. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Nelson, I'm a huge fan of strong coffee. A huge fan. It just doesn't hit me. Jacob says, I know we have Skype coming up. Think you missed my question. X is avoidant. Jacob, multiply you by 116 people, dude. Let's see your question. X is very avoidant. Well, will even contort reality to fix her justifications at times. Probably unlikely she'll come back. See, that's the type of question that I don't like answering, because you're asking me a question I cannot answer with science. No matter how good I am at my job, I cannot answer that question because it's based on the future. So, what I do appreciate is that you use the word unlikely, because unlikely implies statistics. So, statistically speaking, if your ex is someone who's manipulative and avoidant, statistically, yes, the chances are lower. Does that mean definitely? Doesn't mean definitely. Does that mean she will definitely come back? No, we can't use the word definitely because that implies a definitive, right? I can't answer definitives. I can only answer maybe, possibly. But I wonder how much we should focus on that, right? John Murphy says, success story. 9 months post-breakup, and I am now dating an amazing woman who has traits I liked about my ex and traits I wish my ex had. It gets easier, everyone. Trust the process and love yourself. Good comment. Smash like. Good comment. Congratulations, John. Lich King says, hey, Rory, I have stopped talking to my ex for nearly a month. I pursued her for 2 months until I slowly stopped. She screenshotted a old chat a week ago. I'm not sure if she would want me to reach out. Doesn't matter if she does or doesn't, right? She wants you back. She's got to reach out. The fact that she's screenshotting old pictures, I'm assuming that was Snapchat. The fact that she's screenshotting old pictures is certainly not a bad sign. I'll tell you that. Can he come back if he said he didn't love me when we were breaking up? Yes. In your experience, do exes come back after a long period of time more or less often? See, again, I want you guys to be careful with these types of questions. Because these questions are based in... Like, if I were to deconstruct some of the questions I get and reconstruct them, it would be, how can I extract the most amount of hope from a situation? But I don't like relying on hope, guys. It's not a game I like playing, because hope will prevent you from doing the thing you want to do. Right? Hope will prevent you from the main focus, which has to be yourself. It's funny that we want back relationships that were broken. We want back people who broke up with us. And one of the reasons we want them back is because of how losing them makes us feel. But what we rarely think about, or what we will perhaps more accurately often lie to ourselves about, is, but is this person good for me? Is the person good for me? Do they help me be a better, more whole person for myself, so that if this person leaves my life, I'll still be better for the experience? And the answer is almost always no. Granted, I deal with a lot of people who are, from 18 to 35. That's basically... It's pretty evenly split. It's pretty 50-50 on gender distribution. It's slightly skewed towards men, obviously. The breakup videos usually are, but the question you should be asking yourself far, far more than, do I want them back? Because the answer, if somebody broke up with you, 90% of the time, yeah, you want them back, right? The bigger question is, are they good for me? Are they good for me? Because if you take them back and they're not actually good for you, and you're just chasing love that you never get from them, well, A, a breakup's going to happen again, even if you got them back. But B, it has to be about you at some point in your life. At some point in your life, you need to be the star of your show. And yet here we are making everyone else the star. It's like, man, it's a bad movie. But it doesn't have to be. But it doesn't have to be. Stefania Montoya says, Rory, I'm starting to feel a little better after journaling. I needed to hear everything you told me. Then you are very wise. it is wise to be able to say, you know what, I didn't want to hear that, but I know I should hear it. Hope all is good mentally, man. You deserve the best. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm getting better. I appreciate that, guys. Do you think cold feet before a big commitment is a real thing? Absolutely yes. Cold feet, grass is greener syndrome. Yes. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Darren, thank you for the donation, man. Been focusing on myself with exercise, yoga, etc. You also introduced me to Corey Wayne and Craig Kenneth, so cheers, man. Hey, well, I'm glad that you're doing what needs to be done, man. Good on you. Let's see. Karen says, do you believe that it is possible to have an on and off relationship that ends up being together in the end? Is there a reason that two people keep getting drawn to each other? Yes. Yes and yes. So, yes, it's possible to end up with a person, and yes, there's a reason you keep getting drawn to each other. The bigger question is, why do you keep repelling each other? Fix what's broken, and you'll have a good relationship. So, your job is to sit down and figure out, okay, between me and this person, what is broken? What is broken, right? Why do we keep pushing each other apart? Am I making reasonable, actionable steps to begin fixing the reasons we keep pushing each other apart, right? What part is mine to bear? What part is theirs to bear? And what part do we create together making this thing worse? Perhaps couples counseling might be a way to go, but typically when people keep getting drawn back to each other, it's because it's a comfort zone, right? It's a comfort zone. How can they make it up to you when they come back to stay for good? That is lacking a ton of context. So it depends on what they did. I mean, and it depends on what you did. Did you have a hand in helping the relationship fail? Were you being clingy, needy, generally unattractive? Or did something happen where they cheated on you? I mean, there's no way to answer that question without more context. So if you can give me a little more context, I'd love to answer that question for you. Connor says, I've always wanted to get into your line of work. Can you remember where all this began for you? I'd love to help people the same way you do in the future when I've healed. How did coaching start for me? Well, it didn't start as coaching. It started as behavioral analytics, which I was doing for years. And that happened after I was going through a breakup years ago. What's the best way to put this? I wasn't happy with who I was, right? So I changed. I pursued things that interested me more, and what I was doing at the time was music, and that became more of a hobby for me, which I still do. And I had changed my life, and eventually that led into life coaching, and not just for relationships. I don't do just relationship coaching. I also do general life coaching. So I have people call me from time to time, and it's rare because of the YouTube channel advertises itself as relationship coaching. But by and large, yeah, it's just general life coaching. So if you want to look into life coaching, there's tons of resources, there's tons of certificates that you can get, and a lot of them are online. But I'm also being very lazy about finishing my second degree in counseling. So eventually I will be a licensed counselor as well as a licensed life coach, as well as a ABA, a behavioral analytics guy that you always have known me to be. So soon enough, I will be legally allowed to practice therapy, but I probably won't do that in an online setting. But, you know, I'll keep you guys updated. So let's see. Christian says, how can you get a girl back who left for the second time for a guy who she was with during our first breakup? I want you to reread that question to yourself like 9 times. And I'm not making fun of you. How can you get a girl back who left for the second time? How can you get a girl back who left for the second time for a guy she was with during our first breakup? How can I get a girl back who has now left me twice to go back to the other guy who she was with the first time she left me? I just want you to continually ask yourself that question. You're looking for an answer. You already have an answer. You already know what the answer is. Right? This is your second breakup. She has now left you for someone else twice. Just something to mull around. TB says, we broke up 8 months ago, and she keeps me around her, but she never talks about the relationship. What to do? She doesn't keep you around her. You keep yourself around her. Boundaries, my friend. Boundaries. Say, hey, look, I'm not down for this anymore. I'm not interested in this anymore. Right? Damn it, Rory, why are you always right? It's not about that, man. Look, I tell people information they already know. That's 90% of my job, is telling people what they already know. And this is not original information. This is simply information that comes from looking at the situation without emotion. That's the best way to put at it. You have to think, when I'm hearing about these people's situations, I am generally not emotional, right? I'm thinking quite logically about the situations. And I have to be cognizant that a lot of you, the information I give is hard because you're in an emotional spot. It's kind of like, yeah, I know what to do. It's just, right? Fear, anxiety. What if it doesn't work? Doubt, guilt. What about my conduct in the relationship? What about the things I could have done better? I get it. It's not easy. And you should never discount how you feel, right? Just because we know how the story usually ends does not mean you should discount how you feel in the moment. Agent 47 said, how to get a girl back that broke up with me but did it by crying. Saying, I still love you, but that's what we gotta do. The exact same way. The exact same way. You go no contact and work on yourself. Yeah, there's no difference. Simone said, my ex broke up after 1 year 2 months ago now. Okay, so you guys dated for a year, you broke up 2 months ago. Now, 1 month after no contact. Wait, now one of no contact after begged and pleaded. You got to rewrite this question. Yeah, do me a favor, rewrite this question, then I'll read it. Nelson says, Rory keeps it real. Best part is it comes from a genuinely kind place. Yeah, like, guys, I've been there. I've been there. And for everyone else, you have to remember that sometimes some of what I say is going to be something you don't want to hear. Ask yourself, what is the best thing for me to be a happier and healthier person in such a way that I can control? That's it. It's a simple question. We will make ourselves worse in so many ways. In so many ways, if it means get that person back. Because sometimes, that's heartbreak, man. It's emotional, right? It's not necessarily reason-based and logic-based. Logically, yeah, we should all go to the gym. Logically, we should all talk to counselors. Logically, we should always journal and meditate, right? Logically, we should pick the person who's healthiest for us and best for us, the person who will make us happier, healthier, stronger. Logically, we shouldn't chase people who dump us. Logically. But my own counselor had put it this way. He said, logic is the little man sitting on top of an elephant. Elephant is emotion. It's like, you can tap that elephant to go left or to go right, but that elephant ultimately is going to do whatever the hell it wants to do, and there's not really much logic can do about it. So, think about it that way. Mike, thank you for the donation. Can you talk about in-person stalking urges and how to control them and where it comes from? Very little info on the web about it. Tricky. So, in-person stalking. Stalking in general is a need for information. Information is a need for control, right? If you have more information about them, and you're constantly analyzing who they are with, where they are at, how long they are there, what they're doing there, and you're beginning to draw conclusions about why they're there, why they're with that person, who they're... Look, it's just not worth it. If you get caught, it's done forever. It's done forever. You will, if you get caught stalking, you will not get them back. And I'm not even going to bother to address oh, but I did stalking one time and I got my ex back. It's like, all right, well, you got bigger problems, dude. Yeah. I'm going to answer this a little more in depth. I want to read this comment real quick. Hey, Rory, success story so far. My ex broke up with me 4 days ago. I went no contact and started hanging out with friends, being genuinely happy, confident. Now we are meeting tomorrow to see what happens. Congratulations. Good on you. So, Mike, I understand the urge, right? And sometimes it's not in person. Sometimes it's just something as simple as social media, right? We want to do a little social media stalking. It's, all I can tell you, it comes from a place of control. And control, it's one big just chain reaction. Control and the need for control comes from a place of insecurity. So ultimately, where it comes from, to answer your question, it comes from insecurity. How do you control insecurity? Name it. Where are you insecure? What is insecure? Why is it insecure? How does my past feed into it being insecure? How do you control these urges? I mean, you ask yourself the real question. Is my goal really to win my ex back, or is my goal just not to be insecure? If you want to win your ex back, don't stalk them. And ask yourself deeper, what is that information going to do for you? That's the best way to think about it. What is the information really going to do for you? That's what I would urge you to really, really, really consider. Will it really help me get my ex back? No. Not really. Not really. What it will do is make you feel like you're in control. And that you're in the know. And that things aren't happening without your knowledge. Totorunk says, what's the best way to forgive and let go? What is the best way to forgive and let go? Time. Effort. Right? Understanding that holding on is not for you. Right? Who's that for? You're holding on to something... I explained it the other day in the last live stream that I did. So it's literally the last video I did. Is like holding on to a corpse. The corpse is already dead, man. The relationship's over. It's done. People who try and go back and win their ex back are thinking backwards. I need you guys to think forwards. Right? Think forwards. Forwards meaning improve, grow, become, reborn, become anew, etc. And as you're doing that and growing and becoming better, you close chapter 1, the old relationship that's over. You open chapter 2, the possibility for a brand new relationship. But if you keep trying to revive the dead one, you never let go. You never grew. You never learned the lesson. That's all it is. Why are against Clay Andrews? Clay Andrews is, first off, I have coached many of the same people he's coached. And people are just like, this guy is like manipulative, and he has this whole forum where he charges people, like some Facebook group or something like that, where he just charges people ridiculous amounts of money for little to no help. And from the videos that I've seen about Clay Andrews, he just talks for forever and says nothing. He talks about advanced relational skills, which, by the way, there's no such thing as advanced relational skills. What we're talking about is attraction and not being a complete selfish piece of shit. That's all we're talking about. So people like that, they say much and actually impart very little knowledge. That's my problem with Clay Andrews. If you find that you like Clay Andrews, watch him. It's cool. Not a big deal. It's just somebody had asked me my opinion on him once, and I'm like, this guy is a politician. He just keeps talking and says nothing. But look, there's people who don't like my channel. It is what it is, guys. Like, at the end of the day, we got to do what's best for us, right? So if you find that Clay Andrews speaks to you more than my channel speaks to you, or the dating guy or something like that, then go watch Clay Andrews. It's not a big deal. I don't particularly like his channel, but if you find that there's value in his channel, watch. It's cool. Just one person's opinion. There was a comment I had wanted to read. Yeah, so 2 or 3 of you were saying that the stream is like kicking you out or something. What's up with that? Is the screen just... When you say kicking you out, I'm not sure what I mean. What you mean? It's just like going blank? What do you think of Chris Campbell? Which one's Chris Campbell? There's an error with the stream. A few of us are being thrown out. Looking good to me. I'm not sure, guys. Here, let me see. Huh. I don't know. I'm not sure, guys. I'll have to look into it next time, because on my end, everything is showing us fine. Simone says, my breakup after 1 year, 2 months ago, now 1 month of no contact after begging and pleading constantly. She said we have a lot of fights and communication problems. Lockdown doesn't help us. Help? Yeah, it's the same thing. Just do, you know, no contact. Focus on yourself. That's all it really is. That's all it really is. Just give it some time. Let COVID-19 do its thing. A lot of breakups are happening because of COVID, and a lot of reconciliations are happening because of COVID, because people are like, oh, I'm lonely, I can't meet new people, I broke up with this person and I thought life was going to be this one great fantasy, and it's not. Oh no, reality set in. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that I'm going to be careful about how I say this, because sometimes it's just pure coincidence, right? A lot of people who get back together during COVID are likely, if you're not very careful, to get broken up again. Yeah, guys, it's if you're having trouble with YouTube, I'm gonna chalk it up to it being YouTube's fault this time, because on my end, there's no reason it should do this. Yeah, I'm just gonna think. I'll look into it after the stream's over, but right now there's nothing I could do about it. So I apologize if you guys are having some trouble. Very weird. First time we've ever had a problem like that. Why are toxic people hard to let go of? Why are toxic people hard to let go of? It's a good question. Toxic people are hard to let go of because they encourage toxic behaviors in you, and holding on to somebody who's toxic is in and of itself toxic. So, food for thought. Clay argues that your ex will always be attracted to you. It's emotional blocks that kill the romance and trust. His method is to figure out what went wrong and to work on them. No, your ex will not always be attracted to you. That's not how attraction works. Scientifically, that's not how attraction works. Your ex can lose attraction for you. Your ex can gain attraction for you. Yet, it's the emotional blocks that kill romance. I can think of certain exes today that I would never emotionally be with ever again, that I would still love to have sex with. Right? It's just pure attraction. Attraction is, you have to remember, we're animals, right? We're lizards. We have lizard brains. So we can't go too deep into the bullshit. We have to focus on the science that is proven. And if we can't prove it, we cannot make claims about it, right? We can hypothesize, but we shouldn't go beyond that, because we get ourselves into trouble and we work on, we get very into trouble when we begin trying to make claims about things we can't prove. All right, him. Let's see what's next. Yeah, guys, I'll look into the problem later. I'm not really sure what it is. B, thank you for the donation. The Love Chat Poppy. You sound like an amazing person. I found myself coming back to remember to focus on what's important. Myself. Amen, sister. Yes. That is exactly what we want. By building up emotional connection by showing the new you, the ex will slowly open up their emotional resistance. Yeah, like, not for nothing, but what the hell does that mean? By building up an emotional connection, the emotional connection they just broke up with you. It's at its all-time low. So by staying in their life and basically ignoring everything that they asked, which is usually, I don't want to be with you, I don't want to have a relationship with you, I'm not interested in having a happy, healthy relationship at this time, please respect what I say. And you're like, no, I need to hang out here and work on my advanced relational skills with you. I need to discover your emotional blocks. It's like, yeah, dude, that's great, but like I just told you, I don't want to see you right now. You know what I mean? We have to respect the other person. We're human beings. And we have to have enough respect for ourselves, because respect creates attraction. Respect creates attraction. So if I'm sitting here like, I wonder what her emotional block is. It's like, my emotional block is that you're a wimp and you have no self-respect. And that you let yourself gain a bunch of weight, and that you are emotionally needy. It's like, that's not an emotional block. That's, you're not attractive. And we have to be able to distinguish between those two things. Right, 9 times out of 10, I'll make breakups easy. 9 times out of 10, the reason that somebody breaks up with us and I want everybody to listen very closely, and I want everybody to write a journal entry about this. 9 times out of 10, a relationship ends because the way you acted with your partner was different than how you acted when they first met you. That's it. I'm going to say that one more time. 9 times out of 10, the breakup happened because the way you acted at the beginning of the relationship was a completely different person than how you acted at the end. You got into a relationship and you got into a contract with this person, right? An emotional, air quotes, emotional contract. And you said, I'm going to act this way. And your partner said, cool, I like that. And I'm going to act this way for you. And you're like, all right, cool, we're on the same page. And then the relationship went on, weeks, months, years, etc. And you began to change. And I'm sure they began to change a little bit too. But as time went on, you changed, you became comfortable, you became more needy, you became more complacent, right? You stopped hanging out with your friends as much, you stopped working out as much, you stopped doing the things that made you attractive, the attractive person they first met. And then time went on, and they were like, this isn't the contract I signed. I bid you farewell. I am exiting the contract. And that's what it is. 9 times out of 10. Now, you might be saying, oh, and Andrew, thank you so much for the comment, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the donation. But you may be saying, hey, Rory, hold on. There's 2 people in this relationship. Right? There's 2 people in this relationship. Why am I taking all the blame? What about them? What about what they did? And it's like, guys, I can't coach your ex. I can't coach your ex. I can't tell them what to do and how they should change. I can tell you guys what to do. I can tell you guys how you should change. And you guys can consider it and say, is this good for me? Is this right for me? Is this something helpful for me? Okay. Amisha, if your ex says it's always your fault, perhaps that's not the ex for you. But that's the other half of this, is that some people are not willing to realize the possibility that the person you want to date is not the person you should date. Maybe they're not right for you. And if we're not open to at least the possibility that there's better out there, we'll never find it because we're not looking for it. So, Karen says, any tips on getting back together long distance during this pandemic? He reached out after 7 months in early June. No contact again, except watching each other's social media. That is a hairy question for a couple of reasons. A, the pandemic. B, you guys are long distance. Karen, I want you to really consider if long distance is what you want. Is long distance really what you want? Particularly during a pandemic. Don't you want better for yourself? You want somebody who's down the street, who you could see whenever you want. If you and your ex have spoken and he reached out, it kind of depends on what he reached out about. Typically, the point is to go live a good life, and if they reach out and say, hey, you know, let's try again, and then you can just slowly begin a dialogue and slowly grow from there. I mean, when people reach out, it's not going to go from 0 to 100, right? It's not going to go from, hey, let's date again. Okay, cool, everything's better. It's a conversation. And then it's meet up. Let a little time go by. Meet up. Let a little time go by. Meet up. Let a little time go by. Okay, now we're having sex. Let a little time go by. Okay, now we're going to dinner dates. Let a little time go by, etc. It's a growth. But if your ex reaches out and you're back with them a week later, it's like, did you really hold boundaries? Did you really do the work? No, you didn't. You were excited that your ex reached out. Which stems back to the question I asked everybody earlier. Do you want them back because they're good for you? Or do you want them back because you're lonely? Do you want them back because they are good for you and help you grow and and help you be a better version of yourself so that even if you leave Even if they leave, you're still better for it, they're still better for it. That's a good relationship. We've just fucking brainwashed ourselves into the belief that everything should always be amazing and your heart should be just pounding out of your chest for them at all moments. And it's like, if you think that way, you're naive. I'm sorry, that's not love. That's not love. That's constant infatuation. That's constant lust. That's not love. Love means I'm making a choice. I'm staying with you even if I don't wanna, right? Because I know that if I get through the hard moments with you, it'll go back to being good. Right? There are days where I wake up and I look at the other person and I'm like, I'm not feeling it for you today. Understanding that sometimes that's love. That's it. That's what it comes down to. The idea that you're going to be completely head over heels in love with your partner every day of the week is just naive. Rory, how do you get some people to understand that I've given them sound advice, but they ask again? Do not cast pearls before swine. That's not saying it about you guys. That's just saying that's more of a life thing in general, right? If you're giving advice to somebody who doesn't want to listen, don't give the advice. Also, don't give unsolicited advice. That's the... I've learned that in my personal life, guys. I maybe sometimes drag this job into my personal life. Maybe a little bit. I'm not too bad, I promise. I used to be very bad. Now I'm just like, hey man, you're gonna figure it out. Good luck. Good luck to you. Jacob, thank you for the donation. For anybody feeling lost or confused, really listen to Rory. He knows what you need more than you do when you're not in a mindset to figure it out yourself at the moment. Tough love and all. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's not, look, it's just, I'm keeping it skin deep, right? A lot of the time. I'm not here to psychoanalyze you in every little thing that you do. What I'm here to say is, hey, you know, we can't make your ex come back right now, so why don't we just focus on becoming more attractive for ourselves right now? Because that raises the likelihood that they take a second look. It's as simple as that. Right? It increases the likelihood that everybody on Earth takes a second look at you and goes, huh, they seem pretty happy and healthy and mentally sound and stable. I hear that a lot, but what do you mean, like examples of what or how a girlfriend could make me a better person? It's a matter of growing with the person. Like, having them inspire you to be better for yourself, right? So perhaps the person you date is quite empathetic and you're a bit too logical and cold. Well, they can help inspire you to be more empathetic, and you can help them to have tougher skin, right? That's something I've experienced in my own personal life. Perhaps, you know, they're a neat freak and you're a complete mess. Well, you can take some things from them. You can become a bit more clean and they can learn to let loose a little while. Opposites attract all the time, if you let them. All right, Karen says, our breakup occurred because we both know we need to work on things. He is avoidant style and I am anxious. What advice would you give for couples that are opposite but help each other grow? I mean, pretty much exactly what I just said. Right? You want to use the other person's strengths to help bolster your weaknesses, and vice versa. They use your strengths to help bolster their weaknesses. That's really what it comes down to. So what advice would I give? Well, it kind of depends on the specific problems you guys were having, but I think guys, any problem in a relationship can be overcome if you decide you want it to be overcome. That's really what it comes down to. If you and your partner make a commitment to solve the problem, it can be solved. But oftentimes, we will not listen to things like that, right? We will go for the quick fix, for the instant gratification, right? If an ex comes back, you want to ask yourself, well, hold on, what were the problems? And have we made steps towards finding these solutions? Does this person really want what's best for me, or are they lonely? Because I need to date somebody who wants what's best for me and I want what's best for them. And together we can manifest that, create that, through our actions. I shouldn't use the word manifest, so scratch the word manifest. Is there any way you can boost your audio output? I'm showing like almost peaking. Yeah, I'm showing, I did notice the last stream I did, it was a little quiet, but right now I should be like almost as loud as it can go. Let's see. Simone, I answered your question earlier. Patrick says, hi, Rory. Your videos helped me a lot in a critical phase in my relationship breakup in the past 2 months. Thanks a lot. You're very welcome. Ashley says, I think my ex monkey branched to his coworker and he hid it from me for months because he knew I didn't like her. Do you think it will last because she knew about the relationship? That is... I'm going to read this one more time. The question didn't, register. I think my ex monkey branched to his coworker and he hid it from me. So as soon as you start the question with, I think, I kind of check out a little bit. You want to be careful with I think. If your ex is hiding something from you, it's mainly because he doesn't want to hurt your feelings. Will the relationship last? Usually monkey branch, rebound type relationships don't last. No. TB says, is it wrong to pay rent for an ex? Yes, they are an ex. That is inappropriate. You should no longer be paying. They're your ex. You should not be paying your ex's bills. Let's see. Mike says, 6 weeks into no contact. She called me for a favor, which I helped with. She texted me to say thanks. I asked to see her. She waited a week to respond and said, no, I'm seeing someone. Please don't contact me again. Thoughts? I mean, that's pretty straightforward, man. That's a pretty straightforward answer. So you guys were in no contact for a month and a half. She called you for a favor. You helped. She texted you to say thanks. You asked to see her because you turned that favor into, hey, let's hang out. She waited a week to respond because she was probably thinking about how to respond. And then she responded like a bitch. There's no other way to put it. That's just a bitchy way to handle that. I'm seeing someone. Please don't contact me again. I would just back away. Back away and, let her make the next move if a next move is to be made. And in the meantime, you focus on you. That's a pretty shitty way to handle things. She sounds just great. By just great, I mean she sounds like an asshole. Yeah, there was 1,000 other ways she could have handled that. That was not the right way. So I think she's getting a bit cold and mean because I'm not sure the background, but there may be a little too much texting, a little too much chasing and pursuing, and that might be why you're seeing some of that. But you wrote 6 weeks into no contact, so maybe not. Maybe she's just an asshole. Which is possible. Not a satisfying answer, but it is a possible one. Let's see. Dale says, hey, Rory, I think I'm approaching a formal relationship with a new lady. I really like her, but recently pain from the ex is hitting hard out of nowhere. Is this normal? Yes, it's normal. It is fear-based. It is that you are acknowledging the potential that you might be moving forward. And you're sort of the parts of you that long for your ex are reaching out and saying, no, you're not ready. You can't do it yet. You're not ready. Ignore them. Keep marching forward. You got this. Keep open communication with your partner and just tell them, hey, here's where I'm at. I have some fears. I have some doubts. They don't really have much to do with you. I'm just telling you because I trust you. That's it. That's really it. Let's see. Who would you recommend to listen to working on your mental health? How to become more confident? Listen to Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson, Guy Winch. Who else would be good? If you're into a bit more, macho way of looking at it, you can look into Corey Wayne. I've been trying to distance myself from Corey Wayne a bit, but he still says a lot of things that are good. Who else is good for confidence building? The Dating Guy, definitely good with that. Yeah, just whoever you find yourself jiving with. Hey, Rory, glad I caught you. I find myself cyberstalking my ex during the pandemic. Any tips on how to stop the unhealthy behavior? Yeah, I mean, ask yourself what it's doing for you. What is this behavior doing? What is this information actually doing for you? What is the information actually doing other than harming you? What are you really finding out? Mark Manson? Yeah, good suggestion, Dale. Mark Manson's really good. So cyberstalking is so easy, looking at the ex's story or posting things so they look at your story or stuff like that, just trying to find out new information. It's just inherently quite unhealthy. The question I want you to ask yourself is, what am I actually doing here? What am I actually accomplishing? What am I actually accomplishing? And the answer is nothing. I'm just hurting myself. I'm looking for information that is only going to hurt. So what's the point? Arthur says, hey, Rory, my ex wants to be friends. She has a new boyfriend. I know your videos. Oh, God, where'd your question go? It says, don't be friends. And the other day I watched Love Advice TV, and they said be friends with them. I'm a fan of Team Rory. Yeah, Love Advice, first off, thank you. I appreciate that. Team Rory, woo! Love Advice TV, those people are full of shit, and not a single one of them has any sort of degree in mental health or psychology or anything like that. Do not be friends with an ex if you want them back romantically. Do not be friends with an ex if you want them back romantically. Do not be friends with an ex if you want them back romantically. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. You're not going to be able to act organic. You're going to act anxious. It's going to hurt to know they're dating somebody else. Do not be friends with an ex who you want back romantically. Don't do it. And fuck Love Advice TV. I've said fuck a lot today. Sorry, guys. I'm not usually this angry. Love Advice TV just really bugs the crap out of me. Yeah, they bug the crap out of me because it's so damn manipulative. It's so friggin' manipulative. It boils my blood to see other people get taken advantage of when it comes to this stuff. Like, I mean, anything in general, but I've used the casino example before, and the casino example is basically this, right? If I walk into a casino with $100, I am very aware. I am very, very, very aware. Yeah, Andy, you can show the cursing. I don't care. I am very aware that when I walk into a casino with $100, that these machines are rigged towards me losing, right? The chance of me winning money is very, very, very low. I understand that. I walk in with $100, ready to lose $100. I shrug. It is what it is. Had some fun. That's the day. If I am paying a professional to help me, I don't want to take the casino mentality. I want to know these people know what the hell they're talking about. So when it becomes very overwhelmingly clear that these people have no fucking clue what they're talking about, I lose my shit. Because they make tons of professionally filmed and developed videos that say, all you gotta do is this. It's just, you have to write your ex a letter. Really? Understand how to optimize relationships and love? Hi, this is Coach Natalie, and I'm here to help you reunite with the one that you love. And we're just not here for that shit. It's like, no. I don't want to do it this way. But what's tricky about it is that some videos, and many coaches do this, some videos will say exactly what I say, exactly what I agree with, right? Which is fine. I'm cool with that part. I'm good with those videos, right? Hey, just, work on yourself and really leave them alone. They ask to be left alone. Give them some time. Give them some space. I'm like, yeah, cool. Respect yourself and respect the other person. Awesome. What a concept. Act like an adult. Holy shit. And then they're like, oh, and write them a letter. Oh, how'd that get in there? That'll be $400. It's like, are you shitting me? Grr. All right, I'm going to go. I love you guys. Bye.